Cochise is live in the studio. Hello, sir.
Greetings.
How are you today?
Doing very well.
Crushing it, I hear.
Yes, crushing life in general.
That's
yes.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, we are excited to have you here today. We talk a lot about things that people should do to lose weight or to get stronger, and we haven't talked really much about what you shouldn't do when you jump into a workout program, because there are certain things that you probably should not just jump in and do.
Yeah, I think it's a really good thought. And I, made a little bit of a list here, just a few things that I can think of off the top of my head. The first thing is just doing too much too soon. I think people get kind of fired up to get back in the gym or start to try to get in shape, and a lot of times maybe burn themselves out just too quickly because they're trying to do too much. The old adage, like, if you're going to eat an elephant, you got to do it one bite at a time. And, you really need to build that foundation that we've talked about before of your conditioning, learn to perform body weight movements, do just like basic exercises, whether it's learning how to do lunges or squats, learning how to work with a kettlebell and do swings with lighter weight. And I always tell people, I'm like, if you can't control just this basic, your body,
You're
like
shaking.
Yeah, like if you can't control some of those basic movement patterns, you're gonna have a lot of trouble whenever I throw, when I strap a bar to your back and be like, all right, run around the room with it. And,
Do you do that really?
Yeah, here, take this heavy object and
start running.
Just move it. I mean, it's all grunt work at the end of the day, but that's kind of why it's effective.
Okay, well, you talk a lot about weight training, strength training, using weights and bars to get stronger. And what about for people who don't know all the moves and all the things? I mean, maybe they've never done more than a bench press.
Well, I was actually just talking to one of my clients about this yesterday. The dude is a smart guy. He's in general surgery here in town. He's very well educated, and he's a former collegiate football player. And we were talking about how there really is so much more information available to just the regular Joe that with regard to human performance, athletic endeavors, whatever, there's so much stuff on the internet.
Right.
Like, you can go onto YouTube and, look at how to do a single leg RDL or, learn how to properly bench press. And granted, there's a lot of fluff out there, but I think a lot of times you can kind of tell who's a D-bag and who knows their stuff.
Okay.
I mean, just
so
quite frankly.
Is there anything like specific people can Google and look for if they want to know how to properly do like a push press or a back squat or deadlifts?
I mean, my background is with CrossFit, so I'm always going to be a huge proponent of that. But if you go to YouTube, CrossFit's YouTube channel, they even have it. They've gone as far as to break down into categories like certain movements and how to coach certain movements, how to execute certain movements. So there's so much information there, but there's tons of other resources as well. Westside Barbell is very much a strength bias program for exercise, and there's tons of content if you just Google Westside Barbell, and the guys here in town, Strong Gym, they do a lot of that training philosophy. So.
Do you suggest the same for people who are doing like running activities too? I mean, just don't start out thinking that you're going to run 3 miles. Should they run a certain amount, walk a certain amount? I mean, how do you build that site so you don't get hurt there too?
Yeah, and it's the same thing that I tell everybody when they come in to start exercising. I'm like, I want to dole off enough of the crack to get you hooked, but not to overdose you in the first first time. And I think that approach is the way that you should go about any athletic pursuit or fitness pursuit. Like when you first start, you want to do enough to be like, all right, that was really, really good. You want it to be enjoyable. I mean, like you want to push yourself, but it should be fun as well. And it should be something that's realistic. So if you're going to start running, start out doing 400-meter intervals, 200-meter intervals, and then gradually work yourself up to a mile or train for a 5K, but just a little bit at a time.
Okay, cool. So I think we've learned today with Cochise is enjoy your exercise and your fitness. And don't jump in too much where you end up hating it. Take your time. It's okay to scale and to start off slow and to do a little research to make sure that you're doing your movements right. And of course, as you always say, having a trainer and somebody to teach you properly is key.
Yes, absolutely. Don't listen to the schmucks. Listen to me, Cochise.
Cochise. Thanks, buddy. Have a good day.
Thanks.